Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video we are going to paint all these three lovely feathers. Very simple and easy to paint. In today's video I'm using my 300 GSM watercolor sheet. That's 130% cotton and cold pressed, and I'm going to use my round brush. This is size 02 round brush. So that's all we needed for today's video. So without wasting any time, let's start with the first one. So I'm creating a basic shape. So whatever shape you like to have for this particular feather, you can take that particular shape. So I'm keeping it very simple, like a leaf kind of shape. And then I'm using ultramarine blue color. I want to keep this particular feather very light and fluffy, airy. So I'm going to use all the lighter shade of purple and blue. And I have created two patches like this, left and right, and then I'm trying to blend it with the help of clean water. I'm not using any extra color. I'm just blending the existing color that I have into my sheet, and then repeating the same kind of thing with the purple color as well, again creating some kind of patch left and right and diluting it using clean water. Now in this particular step you might see a little bit of hard edges kind of pattern, but that is totally fine, don't worry about that, we're going to fix it. So keep blending it, and you can start creating a feather kind of shape, and you can also do a little bit of overlapping of color because these two color goes really well with each other. That is why overlapping is simple when you are using these two color. You can definitely use any color of your choice, but make sure use something which goes well with each other. Do not use some kind of color which gives you a mud effect. Now you can also create a feather portion towards the downward direction, making it look like this is a feather. And then you can also create some fine lines around it. So make sure you are doing this particular step in both ways. First, when your sheet is damp, so in the damp sheet when you try to create these lines, it will spread a little bit and it will not form a very fine line, which is actually needed, and it is a good effect in case of feathers. And then you can repeat the same thing when your sheet is dry. So this is the base. We are done with the basic structure. If needed, you can also have couple of lines with the purple color as well. I have created lines with the blue color. Now I'm creating lines with the purple color. So this is something you can do on your own, like how much lines you needed, when to stop, when to not. These things you can decide for yourself, but make sure you're not overdoing it. So that is something you can keep in your mind and keep doing it until you're satisfied with this particular step. I'm using only two color to create lines as well, but you can try to create it multicolor, having multiple different colors of lines in this particular feather. Now let it dry for some time. Either you can keep it aside or else you can use hair dryer to dry it quickly. So to save our time, I'm using my hair dryer to dry it completely, and then we can move into the next step. So now I'm using darker color of ultramarine blue color, and with this particular color I'm going to create the center line which is actually visible in the feathers. And with the tip of my brush, I'm not going to apply any pressure because I need very fine lines of blue and purple in this particular feather. So I'm going to use tip of my brush, and without applying any pressure I'm going to create multiple lines like this to finish. So this is the final step that I wanted to have for this particular feather. I don't want to complicate it. So it is pretty simple and easy to paint. Just use multiple colors, have a lighter shade and get a shape of feather, and then create multiple lines around it with similar kind of color that you have. Now let's do the second one. Second one is my favorite and the simplest one to do. So in this one, I'm filling my whole brush with yellow color. So make sure you're filling the brush with yellow color, and at the tip I'm using red color. Basically I'm loading two different colors into my brush. Now start creating a shape. So I'm creating a simple shape of feather, and then I am just going downward direction, blending it like this, getting some rough edges automatically as you can see, and also getting little bit of red and yellow effect. And if possible, use little bigger brush for this particular feather. I'm using little smaller brush, so that is why I need to load the color multiple time. So if you are using bigger brush, you can do it in one go, and then just have a little darker color in between the feather, but you can automatically have a nice feather kind of pattern like this, and then you can have little downward strokes at the bottom. Now I also have the center line with the help of red color. I can see orange color, I can see red color, I can see yellow color. So this is the base of my feather, and it is simple and easy to paint. Right now let it dry a little bit because it is too wet as of now. And now I am using my Indian red color to get little extra pattern into this. Now whether this is a realistic feather or not, I don't know. I'm just having fun creating all these feathers, so you can have different texture pattern whatever you like to finish. So I'm adding some red patches like this only at one side of my feather with Indian red color. Again, the color combination, these things is totally up to you, like how you like to keep your feathers. So I'm doing something like this. And then I'm adding some lines with the help of red color itself. You can try to blend little bit of color in between with the help of clean water, and then I'm using black color. Make sure you are using little concentrated color so that it will not spread too much, because I need a hint of black into it. And see how beautiful this feather is. Actually, I'm liking it very much. It is very different than the previous one that we have painted. Now let it dry completely. Again, I'm using my hair dryer to dry it completely. And once done, you can do a little bit of extra lines and pattern around it when your feather have dried completely. So with the help of black color, I'm creating a couple of lines around the black patches that we have created, and a couple of lines you can also create towards the opposite direction with the help of yellow color or red color. So I'm using Indian yellow color and creating couple of lines like this randomly to finish, and that is all we needed for this particular feather. And we're done with the second one as well. How simple and easy this one to paint, right? Now let's do the third one. This one is the peacock feather. So I'm going to create a basic guideline with the help of pencil. So you can have a heart kind of shape like this. Now just cover it with an oval shape. Basically we need multiple sections to have different color in between, and then create one more oval shape, this one little bigger and pointed from the downward direction. So this is the base. Create a line like this, and that's all we needed as a part of guideline. Then we can have multiple strings like this to finish. So let's start with the watercolor now. So I'm using first Indian red color to create the outermost oval shape that I have created, and this one is little pointed from the bottom, and create a section like this. You can do it roughly, you don't have to be very precise on these things. And then with the help of orange color, create one more section like this. So basically I have created one section with the red color, one section with the orange color, and then let's do the center part. Make sure we are blending the color a little bit so that we can have a nice color. And then in the center I'm filling this heart shape with the help of ultramarine blue color. I want very vibrant blue color for the center, and I'm leaving a little bit of negative space as you can see. So sometime negative space is important, and I have mixed little bit of black color into my ultramarine blue and added little darker color at one side. Now I'm using this phthalo green color, which is actually goes really well with peacock feather. So create a center line and then you can start creating the strings, the feather strings that we usually see into the peacock feather. The lower strings should be small in size, and as you're moving towards the upward direction you can keep these strings little bigger. And one thing you need to make sure is do not fill the lower portion too much, so keep all the feathers at distance only, like I'm doing. So I'm not going to fill it too much, I want to keep it at distance like we usually see into the peacock feather. So this is the first color. We are going to use multiple other colors as well. So first I'm going to use this particular color to paint all over. Now I am mixing phthalo green color into the ultramarine blue color to have little different shade of green, and then again I am creating few more lines like this throughout. So basically we need little bushier structure towards the main portion of this particular feather and a little bit of feather in between the string. And let's do it with this particular color throughout, but make sure you are keeping these lines at distance around the string area. So that is how we have used two different color. Now in the end I am using this lighter green color. So basically I want to use all the shades of green color, so darker green, lighter green, phthalo green. Likewise you can have something like this little bushier structure and then feathers at distance around this string area. I'm telling this again and again because this is important step when it comes to the peacock feather. Now in this particular portion I'm using sky blue color. So fill the whole area with the sky blue color. And we are almost done with this particular feather as well. If needed you can have little bit of line with similar color in the center portion as well, like for the orange area you can have orange lines, for the blue area you can have blue lines. So this is something you can definitely try, and that's all we needed for today's video. I'm done with the third one as well, and I hope this video is easy and simple to follow. Please do let me know which one you like the most, and thank you so much for watching. Please do let me know if you have any feedback for me.